What's up, Warriors fans? Welcome to another in-depth analysis here on the channel. Before we dive in, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any updates about the Golden State Warriors. Let's get straight to the point because today promises to be big. The NBA landscape is more competitive than ever. The Western Conference in particular feels like a true battlefield. If the fiercest rivalries used to be between the Lakers and the Clippers, we now have new heavyweights in the mix. The Mavericks, Suns, Nuggets, and even the Thunder are emerging as real threats in the title race. Amid all this, the Golden State Warriors remain one of the most iconic franchises in the league. With 4 recent championships, the San Francisco team is still a reference point, but the shifts in the NBA's dynamics demand constant adaptation. To get back on top and compete on equal footing with these rising powers, it's clear the Warriors need something more. Rumors are dominating the NBA scene. Could the Greek freak suit up for Golden State? We're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the greatest talents of this generation. And with the Milwaukee Bucks facing struggles this season, the possibility of a rebuild seems increasingly realistic. Issues with Damian Lillard's adaptation, tactical challenges, and even questions about the coaching staff have caused the Bucks to stumble. Given this, the idea of moving on from Giannis might not be as absurd as it seems. But what does this mean for the Warriors? The rumored proposal involves a massive trade. Players like Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and rookie Brandon Podziemski could be sent to Milwaukee, along with draft picks, to secure Giannis's arrival. It would undoubtedly be a bold move, but is it worth sacrificing future assets for immediate impact? With Giannis alongside Stephen Curry, the Warriors would have one of the most intimidating rosters in recent history. However, this trade raises important questions. How would the team's chemistry hold up? And is giving up promising young players like Kuminga the best decision? While the Giannis rumors are shaking up the headlines, the Warriors have a more immediate problem to address: D'Anthony Melton's injury. The veteran guard started the season with strong stats, proving crucial on both defense and offense. He has been a cornerstone in Steve Kerr's rotation, but his forced absence brings significant repercussions. Without Melton, the Warriors will have to adjust their strategies quickly. Moses Moody stands out as a name that could take on a more prominent role, while other young talents on the roster will also need to seize this opportunity. Additionally, Kevon Looney, known for his defensive solidity and rebounding, might have to shoulder greater responsibilities. Jonathan Kuminga is another player worth highlighting. Melton's injury could open the door for him to finally showcase his full potential. Kuminga has the tools to become a multifaceted star, but his growth will depend on how Kerr integrates him into the team's tactical scheme without compromising offensive flow. What's at stake this season goes far beyond just chasing victories. The Warriors find themselves at a delicate transition point. Stephen Curry and Draymond Green are still performing at a high level, but age is a factor, and the window to win another title with this generation isn't as open as it once was. This calls for tough strategic decisions. Bringing in Giannis would be a bold and revolutionary move, but also a risky one. On the other hand, focusing on developing young players like Kuminga and Moody ensures more long-term stability, but might not be enough to compete immediately against the West's new powerhouses. Another critical factor is the salary cap. Long and expensive contracts with veteran players limit the front office's flexibility. This forces the team to look inward, seeking solutions from within the roster. The pressure on the young players is immense, but this is also the moment when future stars can emerge. Despite the challenges, one thing is clear: the Golden State Warriors need to maintain their identity. It was the team's collective play, winning mentality, and Curry's undeniable leadership that transformed the franchise into a powerhouse. Any decision, whether in the market or on the court, must honor these principles. Whether Giannis joins the roster or not, the Warriors have everything they need to remain relevant. Steve Kerr has already shown he knows how to handle moments of crisis and adapt his team to changing circumstances. Now, more than ever, he will need to balance egos, playing time, and the development of young talent to keep the team competitive. The Golden State Warriors are no strangers to periods of transition. Before becoming the dynasty that dominated the NBA, the franchise spent years as a middling team without much prominence. The arrival of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson changed everything, but it didn't happen overnight. Their success was the result of planning, patience, and precise decisions both on and off the court. Today, The Warriors are once again at a crossroads. On one hand, there's the legacy of the veterans, who still have more to give but are already in the later stages of their careers. On the other, there's the challenge of building a promising future, with young players like Kuminga, Moses Moody, and even Brandon Podziemski. Finding the balance between these two eras is key to keeping the Warriors competitive without sacrificing the future. It's worth remembering that at the start of the dynasty, the team also had to make tough decisions. Trades, signings, and bold investments in developing young talent were fundamental. The signing of Andre Iguodala and the rise of Draymond Green are clear examples of moves that worked and helped shape the team's winning DNA. Today, the Warriors need to replicate that formula with new names, but without losing the spirit that made them great. Whatever path they choose, one thing is certain. The Western Conference has never been more competitive. The Mavericks with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, the Nuggets led by MVP Nikola Jokic, the Suns featuring Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, each of these teams has its own superstars and strategies to chase the title. Additionally, the Oklahoma City Thunder is an emerging force, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander rising as one of the league's most impactful players. Not to mention the Clippers, who still believe in the potential of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. With so many heavyweight contenders, the Warriors have no choice but to find ways to remain competitive, whether through Giannis or a strengthened internal rotation. What's most intriguing is that these rivalries are not limited to on-court talent. Each of these franchises is creating a unique identity, whether by betting on super teams or developing young rosters. In this context, Golden State needs to reaffirm its essence and show that it can still be the giant everyone fears to face. While fans dream of a possible scenario where Giannis wears the blue and gold uniform, the Warriors are dealing with more immediate challenges. DeAnthony Melton's injury is a significant blow to the team, and his absence could force crucial changes in the rotation. Steve Kerr will need to get creative. We might see Moses Moody getting more minutes or even Jonathan Kuminga taking on a more central role. This could be the opportunity Kuminga has been waiting for to prove his value. He's athletic, versatile, and has the potential to become an elite defender. If he can fit his game into the Warriors' collective system, he could become an essential piece this season. Another factor that cannot be ignored is the psychological impact of Melton's injury on the rest of the roster. Losing a key player always affects team morale, but it can also serve as motivation for other players to step up. This is where Curry and Green's leadership comes into play. They've faced adversity before and know how to rally the group during tough times. With Melton's potential extended absence, Steve Kerr might use this opportunity to experiment with new strategies. For years, the Warriors have been known for their style of play based on ball movement, spacing, and three-point shooting. However, current circumstances might require adjustments. Will we see more plays focused on Kuminga and Moody? Or perhaps the team will explore a more defensive system, leveraging the versatility of Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. Another possibility is Curry taking on even more offensive responsibility, as he did in past seasons when he carried the team during critical moments. Regardless of the approach, adaptability will be essential. The modern NBA is dynamic, and the teams that manage to reinvent themselves are the ones that stay at the top. The Warriors have already proven to be masters of this art, but now they face an even greater test. Returning to the rumor that's stirring up the NBA, the possibility of Giannis Antetokounmpo joining the Warriors. It's no exaggeration to say that this would be one of the biggest acquisitions in recent league history. Giannis is a rare player capable of dominating on both ends of the court, and his arrival would put the Warriors in a prime position to compete for championships. But the trade wouldn't be simple. Sending players like Wiggins, Kuminga, and Podziemski to Milwaukee means giving up a large part of the franchise's future. Additionally, there are financial considerations. With Curry, Green, and Thompson already on lucrative contracts, how would the Warriors accommodate Giannis's salary without exceeding the cap? Another point to consider is how Giannis would fit into Golden State's system. He's a player who thrives in attacking the paint and creating plays through his physical explosiveness. This could work brilliantly alongside Curry, but would require adjustments to the team's style of play. With or without Giannis, the Warriors have a critical season ahead. They are still an elite team, but need to find ways to reinvent themselves to face the league's new challenges. The coming weeks will be decisive, both in terms of on-court performance and off-court moves. Steve Kerr and the front office know that the decisions made now could shape the franchise's future for years to come. What remains for fans is to trust the process and keep supporting the team. If there's one thing we've learned from the Warriors over the years, it's that they should never be underestimated. One of the greatest lessons the Warriors can teach basketball fans is the power of patience. The resounding success that marked the dynasty led by Curry, Thompson, and Green didn't happen overnight. It took time to build the right chemistry, find complementary pieces, and implement a tactical system that maximized each player's individual talent. Today, faced with a more competitive league, Golden State needs to reflect on the mistakes and successes of its journey. Hasty decisions in pursuit of immediate results can lead to long-term problems. On the other hand, a cautious approach that balances youth and experience can keep the team among the elite for another decade. In this scenario, it's interesting to observe the potential of players like Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. While many fans call for a major trade involving these young talents, perhaps the team's greatest triumph would be investing in their development, ensuring that the Warriors' future is as bright as their recent past. After all, as we saw at the beginning of the dynasty, the pillars of success emerge when the franchise bets on what many doubt. Even so, the reality cannot be ignored. The window of opportunity with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green won't last forever. The point guard is 36 years old, and although he continues to play at an MVP level, his playing style demands constant physical exertion, something that becomes harder to sustain over time. Similarly, Green, with his defensive intensity and vocal leadership, is already feeling the impact of years of battles in the NBA. For this reason, the Warriors' front office faces a delicate dilemma. Reinforcing the roster to capitalize on Curry and Green's final years is tempting, but could compromise the team's future. It's a complex equation where balancing the present and future must be calculated with precision. Another factor is the emotional impact Curry and Green have on the franchise. They are not just players, they are icons that define Golden State's winning culture. Any decision involving the transition to a new generation must consider what they represent to the fans, the city of San Francisco, and NBA history. When analyzing the team's young core, it becomes evident there's a lot of untapped potential. Jonathan Kuminga, for instance, remains an intriguing piece. He possesses the physical and athletic tools to become one of the league's best defenders, along with raw offensive talent that can be refined over time. However, to reach his full potential, Kuminga needs consistent minutes and a more defined role on the team. Similarly, Moses Moody has shown flashes of greatness on multiple occasions. He is a versatile player capable of making an impact on both offense and defense. With the departure or absence of veterans like DeAnthony Melton, Moody could seize the opportunity to cement his position as one of the team's cornerstones. The secret to transforming these young talents into stars, however, lies in how Steve Kerr and his coaching staff utilize them. Patience and tactical planning are fundamental, and for that, the Warriors must be willing to endure the highs and lows of player development. An issue worth highlighting is the external pressure the Warriors face. When you're one of the NBA's most successful franchises, every move is scrutinized under a microscope. The media, analysts, and fans themselves expect greatness every season, increasing the pressure on the front office and roster. This pressure grows even greater when other teams around the league make bold moves. The acquisitions of Bradley Beal by the Suns and Damian Lillard by the Bucks are examples of how franchises are willing to risk everything in pursuit of a title. This puts the Warriors in a tough spot, as they must decide whether to adopt the same strategy or trust in what they already have. The quest for continued relevance is also tied to the team's legacy. It's not enough to be a great team for a few years. The goal is to build something that lasts for generations. That's why decisions like the potential trade for Giannis must be analyzed with extreme care. As the season progresses, the trade market becomes a crucial factor. If the rumors involving Giannis Antetokounmpo come to fruition, it could redefine not only the Warriors' season, but the balance of power in the NBA as a whole. However, even if the trade for Giannis doesn't happen, the Warriors can explore other options in the market. Impact players with more accessible contracts could be a solution to strengthen the roster without compromising the future. Targets like OG Anunoby, Zach LaVine, or Miles Turner could fill specific gaps in the rotation, whether in offense, defense, or rim protection. Additionally, the Warriors' draft picks hold value in the market. While it's tempting to use them to acquire a star player, keeping them could ensure the franchise continues developing internal talent, as it did with Curry, Thompson, and Green in the past. Another aspect that cannot be ignored is Steve Kerr's role as head coach. Under his leadership, the Warriors not only won titles, but also redefined modern basketball with a style of play based on ball movement, spacing, and three-point shooting. Now, Kerr faces perhaps the greatest challenge of his career, adapting to a transitioning roster while keeping the team competitive. His legacy as a coach depends on his ability to navigate this delicate moment. Will he continue to trust the system that made him famous, or will he seek new strategies to leverage the current roster's talent? The answer to this question could define the Warriors' future. With so many uncertainties, the only certainty is that the Warriors have important decisions ahead. Balancing the present and future, pursuing reinforcements, and developing young talents are just some of the issues that will shape the franchise's destiny. For the fans, the message is clear. This is a time to support the team more than ever. The journey may be full of challenges, but as we've seen in the past, the Warriors have a unique ability to surprise everyone. What makes the Golden State Warriors so special is their ability to reinvent themselves. From Curry's arrival to Kuminga's rise, every chapter of the franchise's story is filled with iconic moments showcasing the strength of teamwork, leadership, and resilience. As the season unfolds, we'll continue to follow every step of this journey. With Curry leading the way, young talents emerging, and potential blockbuster trades on the horizon, the Warriors' future promises to be just as exciting as their past. And you, fan, are you ready to embark on this new phase? Keep following us, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share with other fans. Together, we'll celebrate every victory and overcome every challenge, because being part of Warriors Nation is something unique and special.